New York Jets might be off, but we are not. It is a bye-week edition of Jets Class, and there is so much that we have to get to. Jeane Coakley is going to join me to talk about our non-football highlights of the first portion of this season. We're going to answer your questions in a mailbag as well, but it all starts right now with the takeoff. Massive, humongous, big, ginormous. I don't know how you want to describe this victory over the Philadelphia Eagles, but it was all of that and more for the New York Jets. The fact that they are heading into the bye 3-3 with games on the back nine of their schedule that they should win, like games against Washington, Atlanta, Houston, the floundering Giants, the Patriots again. They have an opportunity to truly get to the playoffs because now things get so much easier. You know, I know what we talked about when Aaron Rodgers went down. Tore his Achilles, the season was over, sky was falling, the Jets lost to the Patriots. The fact is that even with Aaron Rodgers, the Jets would have signed up for a 3-3 record. Remember when all the guys were talking about Hackett, Rodgers, everyone else, about the hiccups they were getting ready to experience, the slower start they were getting ready. There were so many new pieces on offense, a brand new scheme. They were ready to stumble out of the gates, but try to steady the ship and then take off on the back of their schedule. They have done that with Zach Wilson. They are ready to do it, and I think they're going to get there because they're going into the bye at 3-3. You know what time it is? It is 4 downs. It's 4 quick topics on the Jets and my thoughts on those topics. And it starts like always with, let me see if I can do this right. A little tush push first down. Tush push first down. DJ Reed received so much criticism when he compared the Jets to the 1985 Bears. But the fact is that right now, maybe not Bear level, but they are playing like a defense that can single-handedly take the Jets to the playoffs, and they are doing it against the cream of the crop. Robert Saleh said they are embarrassing the best quarterbacks in the league. Yes, they are embarrassing the best quarterbacks in the league. Jalen Hurts looked like a below-average quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen as well. The Jets are shutting down the best of the best now on the back nine of their schedule when they don't play the best of the best. I can't wait to see what this defense accomplishes. I was on the field before the Jets took on the Eagles, waiting to do my hit pregame for a Jets pregame live. And that's when I saw this guy out of the corner of my eye throwing a football. And in my head, I was like, there's only one guy I know who flicks his wrist like that, and that's Aaron Rodgers. But there's no way, right, that he's on the field throwing the ball. I mean, this guy just had Achilles surgery a little over a month ago. Take my phone out, zoom in because the LASIK's not that good, and guess what? That was Aaron Rodgers on the field having a catch with Sauce Gardner. I could not believe it. You know, when the Jets teased and Aaron Rodgers teased that Rodgers wanted to return this year, it was kind of like, okay, fine, cute story. No. This guy is months ahead of schedule. He's standing on the sideline for the entire game. He's having a catch already. There are no crutches. He's walking by himself. The fact he's doing it now, I know we talked about, maybe returning to the playoffs. No. I think there's a chance this guy comes back for the final month of the regular season. I understand why Randall Cobb is here. Aaron Rodgers wanted a friend. Nathaniel Hackett wanted somebody to help the younger receivers learn the offense. But the fact that he is playing as much as he is needs to stop. Cobb, great guy in the locker room. Cobb, great mentor for these younger receivers. Cobb, receiver, not so good anymore. He doesn't create separation. He ranked 32nd in EPA. It's just not there. And I think what you're going to start to see towards the tail end of this year, especially when the Jets get out of the bye, is that those reps that Cobb's receiving in the slot, they are going to be given to undrafted rookie Xavier Gibson. Because this is a player that I've been told has developed to the point, even in this short time, that he looks like the player the Jets hoped they were going to get in Elijah Moore. So once the Jets come out of this bye, I want less Cobb, more Gibson, and I think that's exactly what the Jets are going to do. The Jets very easily could have fractured. They could have gone left. Players could have started bickering. Players could have started fighting. This entire season could have been a complete and total disaster after Aaron Rodgers went down and the Jets lost to the Patriots. Instead, this team rallied with their best overall performance, even though it was in a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. They then beat the Broncos, and then they took down the defending NFC champions. And I genuinely believe that the majority of the credit for what the Jets have done to be able to go into their bye at 3-3 should go exactly and directly and completely to Robert Saleh and his staff. What these guys have done to keep this team together, to keep them fighting, to keep them playing and reaching their expectations despite the inefficiencies that they still do have at quarterback is remarkable. They deserve credit. I'm not wearing my backwards hat, but if I would, I'd take it off and tip it to them, because what this group has done, it truly is next level. And if you need any sign that the Jets have the right guys leading this team, I think you have it with the way they've kept their season alive and in some fashions turned it around.
Well, Robert Saleh said no partying, no nachos, no fun during the bye week, or maybe he wasn't that extreme. But either way, I'm out here doing some yard work, but wanted to take a quick break from that to open up the mailbag and answer your questions as it pertains to the Jets. And these questions are brought to you by Monmouth University. Explore further at monmouth.edu/amplified. Let's dive right into it.
Brendan wants to know, what is the long-term plan outlook for Bryce Huff with the Jets?
The Jets really did just view Bryce Huff as a situational rusher, someone to pin his ears back and go get the quarterback on third down. But this season specifically, maybe over the last year and a half, he has made such strides in his game, in rounding out his game, where you can see the scheme now. Jeff Ulbrich, Robert Saleh, trusting him on first down, trusting him on second down, because he's no longer a liability against the ground. And that's one of the reasons why I do believe the Jets are going to commit to Huff long-term, because now you have a player who maybe he's not the most elite run defender in the entire league, but he's not a liability there. And then you marry that with his next level, truly elite level pass rush production. He's somebody that the Jets can now use, play in and play out. And those are the type of players you commit a lot of money to and use as cornerstones of your defense.
Finn Priceless wants to know, could Jeremy Ruckert be tight end one by the tail end of this season?
Jeremy Ruckert's actually right now following the career trajectory timeline that the Jets had for him when they drafted him last year. They thought he would be a situational player, a developmental player, a run blocking tight end his first year. But by the end of his second year, he would take over as this team's every down tight end. You're already seeing him steal reps from CJ Uzomah. Tyler Conklin's still that safety valve for Zach Wilson, and I think he's going to keep his role throughout the year. But as this season rolls on, we've talked about Xavier Gibson playing more. We've talked about Bryce Huff playing more. He is the other one. Jeremy Ruckert is that I think is going to start seizing more reps for himself, because he's still that elite level run blocker, but now we're really starting to see him make some plays in the pass game as well.
NYJ Will says, what's your honest opinion of how Zach has done this year, and what are your expectations for him the rest of the season?
Zach Wilson's biggest issue his first 2 years was that he was the player on the field that was costing the Jets games. He was the reason so often his first year, so often his second year, that the Jets did not beat teams because of his struggles. This year, that's the biggest change that I've seen. He's not the reason the Jets are losing anymore. Now, I don't think he's an elite player. I don't think he's, aside from that Chiefs game, playing like an above average great quarterback, but he is playing like a guy who is no longer a dead weight. He's playing like a guy who is not holding his team back. He is somebody that the Jets can carry to a victory. And with this defense, with this playmakers, the Jets have shown an ability to do that. So as far as long-term expectations for Wilson, I don't necessarily know if I believe that the Jets are telling the truth when they say that Wilson can still develop into a franchise quarterback or be the guy who is this team's quarterback for the next 12, 13, 14 years. But what I do believe is that Zach Wilson is a player in 2023 that can hold the fort down until Aaron Rodgers returns.
It's the bye week, which means we're going to try not to talk as much football as we want. Just kidding. We're still talking a ton of football here on Jets Class. But I am going to bring in my good friend, Jeane Coakley here to veer off just a little bit, because we both know that the real reason why we have this job is to travel and explore and eat across the country.
I'm completely down with this. Food.
There we go.
Coakley, come on. Let's go.
There we go. Jeane, this is a big one. Best stadium so far.
So I'm going with Denver, even though I know everybody's going to be like, oh, Dallas is better. It is nice, don't get me wrong. I love outdoor. I love the scenics. I love everything about Denver Stadium. It's just really cool. The fans. You?
No, I'm just going with the cliche answer. It's Dallas. It is a spectacle and a world in and of itself. It's almost like you're showing up at an amusement park. I absolutely love that one. And the other one I was a big fan of was the Hall of Fame game that we did in Canton, Ohio. That was my first time going up there. And like, it almost felt like the Jets were playing.
The lights went out. That was a terrible stadium.
I liked it because it reminded me of covering high school sports again. And it was like the NFL was on a high
in the
school
fourth quarter.
Yeah, I still loved it. This is like the most important question I'm going to ask you, and I think we're both going to have the same answer here. Now, everyone knows I do the Press Box Food Power Rankings. This year, Jeane, the number one spot on your Press Box Food Power Rankings with the best spread you've seen is
Dallas. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yep.
They had like prime rib. First of all, they had like a candy.
Gold-plated prime rib. The prime rib had gold on it, like gold flakes on the prime rib. Yeah.
The ice cream had the Jets Dallas in the emblems in the ice cream. Like the mashed potatoes, I think I had
The mac and
7.
cheese.
Oh, the mac and cheese. Oh, I forget. So good. It was delicious.
You have good press box food, you have bad press box food, and then you have Dallas. Dallas is legitimately restaurant quality. All right, final question for you, Jeane, before we let you get out of here. The road trip that you're looking forward to most the rest of the way.
Oh, you know what the answer is. Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
Come on, Sunday night. I'm so excited. I've been to the stadium for the Pro Bowl, but I never seen a game at the stadium. But like, it's Vegas and that stadium looks awesome. And just, I'm super, super pumped for that.
The big one for me, believe it or not, is actually Miami. And it has nothing to do with the stadium. It has nothing to do with the Dolphins. It has nothing to do with the press box spread that they have. It's for one restaurant in South Beach, and it's Chilan on the Beach. It is Peruvian food, and it is my favorite restaurant in the entire world. We're going to bring you back in a couple of weeks here to recap and see where things change, and also if these places that we ranked highly here we stick with, all right? Thank you so much for joining this bye-week edition of Jets Class. It's been an absolute blast. Well, the Jets are off this weekend, so we're going to take this weekend off, but make sure you join us next week for another episode of Jets Class on Thursday. We're going to have so much as we preview this team against the other team in New York, the New York Giants. Who's big brother, little brother? Are the tides switching? We're going to break that all down next week.